What's going on, guys? Welcome to the second part on how to basically fly and land a plane and for beginner's guide. Like I said, this is a beginner's guide. This is not all procedural, so I just wanted to, do this real quick. So, right now I have it paused at almost 5 miles out from top of descent, and basically what I do here right before that, I go into the FMS or the FMC, and what I do is I go back and here, let me unpause it real quick, and I look into the runway altitude is 5377 here in Denver, and so I'm gonna go and put a 7,000, and I'm gonna set it to 7,000, the altitude here in the autopilot, in the MCP, and yeah, so we'll just wait here, and then it's gonna start descending, and then I'm gonna show you guys what I do. What I do after that. So after it starts descending, I start putting all the numbers here in the nav1, nav2 for the ILS approach, and where I get that is I go to the initial reference, and you're gonna get the ILS radio frequency here, which is 111.90. So let's switch these so it's easier. So 111.90. And we're gonna do for nav 1 and nav 2, and we're gonna leave it like that for now. And then we're gonna set our course heading, which is 172. 172. And we're gonna do it on this side too. Okay, and we're just gonna see here. It should start descending here in a little bit. So, yeah. Hopefully, you guys had a good weekend. It was a blast here in Washington, and spend time with family and friends, and just enjoying the day here today. And here we are. So we're starting descending, and it's going to descend at its own rate. So just be patient with it. Another thing, once I get closer to the airport, I'll set the flaps and the VREF references. Another thing that I do, alright, let's hit some drag there. There you go. What else do I do? That's pretty much it, really, and we'll just wait there. We're gonna set a ring here, so we're gonna go to the fix, and we're gonna put in KDEN, and we're gonna set it out to 25 nautical miles. And the reason why I do that is so I know when do I start setting the flaps. I had a friend of mine who was he was a friend, and he's a pilot, and he told me that he usually does it out 20 nautical miles out from the airport. So you're gonna see that ring. If I'm gonna here zoom out real quick. Where is it? Huh. Maybe it's not simulated here with the Zibbo and the RG mod yet, but when I was using the PMDG, you will be able to do that, and you will be able to see a ring here. So yeah, so we're gonna I'm gonna skip the video here, and I'm gonna fast forward this whole descent, and we're gonna I'll get back to you guys once we get closer to the airport. By the way, guys, something I wanted to mention, if you guys are wondering where I'm getting these clouds, these are actually default right now. I installed the I actually added the plugin again for XEnviro, and it replaces the textures from the FS enhancer that I was using, and these are actually default, and I'm using default weather. And the reason why I'm using default weather right now is because XEnviro was giving me these crosses all across my my cloud, so I didn't know why. And so for the video purposes, I didn't want you guys to see that, but hopefully I am using the updated version, version 1.09. So I am going to hold off on installing or using XEnviro for now, but yeah, just letting you guys know. Alright guys, so we're getting closer here to the airport. We're about 30 nautical miles from the airport. So we're about close to maybe 10 minutes here until we actually land the plane. I set the heading to 353, and the reason why is if we follow this magenta line, we're gonna have it very close to the runway heading there. So the reason why I do that, not all the time, but when I get the angle like that, and if we're not using ATC, this is what I do. This is all based of you not using ATC, so just bear with me. But this is what I do, really, and that way you're parallel to the airport, and the airport is over here, if you can see it. We're gonna zoom in here real quick. So that's Denver International there, and so we're gonna turn on our landing lights here now, and our runway turnoff lights. And yeah, this is pretty much it. Oh, we're gonna set the altitude, landing altitude at 5,300 feet. So it's 5,300 feet there. So yeah, so we're just gonna stand by here, and we're gonna not put our speed brakes. I mean, we are going to do our speed brakes. I mean, we're not going to do the other brakes, but I am going to open up the airport VS. So we're going to put destination, and we're going to put Denver. Hit enter there. And we're going to be landing on runway. If I find my notes here. We're going to be running, landing on 16 right. So that is 16 right there. And we're going to go to gate Charlie 29. So we're going to find Charlie 29 here real quick. And I'm guessing it's over here somewhere. I know it's one of these. Let me see. Charlie 29, boom. So we're going to we're gonna exit right here. With software. Okay. And Charlie 29, that I think I said it was this one here. There you go. So once we're gonna exit from that right there. Once we land, and we're just gonna follow that route. We're gonna hit accept, and there's our route. So let me minimize that there. We're just gonna continue this until we actually land the plane. Oh, real quick, this is about the time where I start doing the right there. We double click that, and it's gonna show our flaps 40 at. We're gonna be landing at 139 knots. So then we're gonna switch and activate our radio frequencies there. So by the time we make that turn, I'm gonna start and hit VOR localizer. So right now we're going to set our heading. We're gonna start turning right. And we're gonna set it, let's see, set it to 95. And again, guys, this is what I do without ATC. And if you guys want to use ATC, that's perfectly fine. But I'm just using the basics on the day that you're bored and you don't want to go on ATC or anything. You just want to go fly and enjoy it. These are the steps I do to make it happen. Again, this is not all procedure, not right procedure. We're not using checklists or anything like that. This is just taking off and landing, and still have fun and enjoy it. We're about 9,100 feet right now. So around this time, we're gonna be setting our flaps to 1. And we'll set it up to flaps 2. And the plane is gonna start slowing down as we're coming closer to the ILS here. So once we start leveling, I am going to turn on the VOR localizer. The plane is slowing down, as you can tell right here on the tape. I'm gonna zoom in here. And on its own, if you have all this set up right, 172, 172, and just match what it says right here on the FMC, match the radio frequencies, the plane is going to turn on its own. So we're gonna wait for that. Here in a second, it's gonna start turning. Should be turning about right now. Here it goes. And you can tell by the little diamonds here, once they become level, that's pretty much an indicator to tell you that you're on the right direction. About 10 miles out from the airport, that's where that is where I extend my landing gear. So we're a little off course. We were a little too far. We were too little far into the airport there from the runway.
1,000 to go.
Set it to flaps 5. And the plane will, by its own, it's going to align with that runway. So here, let's extend our landing gear.
2,500.
And let's extend full flaps. I'm just gonna slow down. Let's set our air brakes. Let's turn off the autopilot and we're gonna hand fly down from here. So the airspeed is gonna be matching what you set in the VREF page here on the approach. So once it matches that, it's automatically gonna show in the MCP, which is 139, as you can see there by the heading and course right between there. We're a little off course and we're having a some crosswind here, which is okay. We're gonna go lower. Let's set our brakes to 2. We're a little high there.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
And all the little sounds that you're hearing are from the RG mod and Zibo mod, or Zibo mod. So having that crosswind there.
500. 400.
Trying to keep it level.
300.
Here, let's get it nose up a little bit.
200.
A little high.
100.
Disarm our
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
do a reverse. Nose gear down.
80 knots.
knots. We're gonna exit here real quick to our left. We're gonna bring our flaps up. We're gonna turn off our landing lights, turn on our nose gear, turn off our strobe lights, and we're gonna start the APU. And looks good so far. And our nose, and our our flaps are up, brakes are down, and we're still rolling. We're gonna go to our airport there. You can see the plane, it's rolling. I did exit a little earlier, and it's fine. You know, like I said, if you were to use ATC, then they'll tell you which runway to depart from, and you know which runway to take out and stuff like that. So we're gonna take a left here. And we're going to be going to gate C29. Which is taken. So we're going to go to 33. Let's take a right turn here. And right there. Where's our parking brake? We're gonna turn off our lights. Turn on the APU. And turn off engine 1, turn off engine 2. close this. Both engines are spooling down, electrical off. And to get the next flight ready, I just turn off all these right here. Electrical 1, electrical 2. Turn off your probe A1, APU. Put this to open. And turn your seat belts off. Pump 1, 2, and 3. Turn those off. Sorry, 2, 3, and 4. Turn those off. There you go. Turn off your anti-collision and should look outside real quick. Everything's good. Centered. Perfectly fine. And that is how I land the plane. So you can take my advice. It's fine. If you don't, it's totally fine. But I was just showing you guys just for funs and giggles just how to land the plane without checklist, without ATC, and the procedure that I do. And this is like a beginner's guide, like I mentioned earlier. So hope you guys have a good day. And I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.